hardest time getting this in the car.
Oh my gosh, it smells so good. We literally just sit down with a cup of our favorite tea, and it's just a moment for pause in our day, almost like an affordable luxury.
And even the aroma could just take you to another place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to, with this tea, bring people to Pantry Hill. Welcome to Afternoon Tea at Pantry Hill. Join us over a cup or two as we work together to create home.
Step by step, down the path we made.
Hi, I'm Darien Rozell. I'm a mom of 3 wonderful, active, curious little boys. I'm a former magazine editor with a background in childhood education. In 2016, after living in both Seattle and Boston, my husband Eric and I made a decision that ultimately would become what we've built our lives around. We chose to come home. We bought a country house in the same area where both of our families have raised their children for more than 250 years. We named our home Pantry Hill. And as we've settled in and grown our family, we've dug deeper into what it means to set roots, to keep and create tradition, and to cultivate community. In this episode, you're gonna meet my friend Hayley. She is a trained chef, a mom, and the owner of a local tea and honey shop. Hayley and I came together recently to make a custom tea blend inspired by Pantry Hill, drawing from our philosophy that food brings people together. Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Hayley.
We're so happy to have you here.
This is really exciting because we have been working on something together for the last couple of months. So 4 years ago, my very first pie workshop, I invited 12 women in business who I respected in Saratoga. And so you were one of those women who came.
Yes.
And you have been one of my biggest champions for that. And so since then, we actually have been working together for every pie workshop because you're helping me pair teas with the pies that we're making
Yes.
at our workshops.
Yes.
So that while our pies are baking, people are sitting down for our daily ritual of afternoon tea. So we finally thought, after 4 years of this, that it was maybe time that we put together our own blend.
Yes, and your descriptions of what you wanted in a blend were so, to say, cozy. I want it to taste like home. I want it to, even the aroma. I want the aroma to evoke this warm, wonderful, and you talked about specific ingredients, but you also mentioned Saratoga red chai, which is one of our herbal chais that you love.
We were sitting on my front porch with our babies. We had blankets, plaid blankets out, and the babies were playing, and we were having tea, and we were like, okay, what does this new blend feel like, right? And we were like, it feels like this. It's a beautiful autumn day. There's, blankets out on the front porch. We're sitting on the porch swing. We have hot tea. So that's the feeling. And then we were like, okay, what does that taste like?
Yes.
Right? And so then we kind of came up with this blend. My grandmother is really kind of the catalyst for this tradition of afternoon tea that we have. We always would gather at her house. We would just pop by, check, see what's going on, and we would have tea and talk about our day or our week or whatever. And so when the first iteration of the tea came out, I picked it up in the shop, and she lives just a couple of miles from the shop, so I brought it over to her, and I wanted her to be the first one to taste the first round of it. And of course we all loved it, and then we sat with it for a little while, and we were like, let's do a little bit of this, and then you were like, let's add a little bit extra of that, and so we did a second round. I brought the second round to my grandmother for the first time too, and I really truly wanted the blend to be something that I would choose off of my shelf, right?
Yes.
And so it's the tea that I go to regularly.
Yes.
Is what I wanted to put out there.
Yes, and what I love about your blend is that you have maple sugar in it. We blend a lot of teas here, and a lot of ingredients are grown other places, of course, because tea grows in different regions of the world, and et cetera. So to feature a product that's local, it really speaks to Pantry Hill as well.
Yeah, it really does in our community, and I love that. So the blend is called the Pantry Hill blend, and we kind of describe it as a cup of home, and it is a black tea base with notes of maple, cinnamon, ginger, and cardamom.
We don't really have a strong tradition of tea in the United States.
Yeah.
It's like, people come from different cultures and they have their own individual practices, right? But if they're into tea, but there's a whole kind of curiosity and kind of awakening now for tea.
Yeah, all sorts of different traditions. And like I get a lot of questions about our tradition of afternoon tea. And how we're practicing that with our boys. And afternoon tea almost sounds a little bit formal when you're first saying like, oh, we sit down for afternoon tea every day. Yeah. We don't sit down for a formalized afternoon tea like you're thinking, the English do, right? If you're going to like a hotel or something like that. We literally just sit down with a cup of our favorite tea, and it's just a moment for pause in our day, a moment to connect with each other or with ourselves if we're by ourselves. And it kind of is this almost like an affordable luxury. Yes. Because it's, a taste of wherever you're, like we're trying to, with this tea, bring people to Pantry Hill, right? But any of your teas are a taste of like the region that they came from or, what they've been inspired by.
Yeah. Yes, I don't think there's any non-tea people out there. I just think they haven't met their match. It's like the most wonderful challenge when we have someone come in and, they kind of are like, oh, I'm not a tea person, do you need any help? Oh, no, I'm not the tea person. It's the other, and like the little challenge being like, oh, well, let me just see if we can try you on one of our little iced teas and see if you might.
And once you're in and you realize that like tea is seasonal and it can be like different teas in the morning, different teas in the afternoon. There's like, it's like when you get yourself into a collection, you just can't stop.
Yeah, and also the herbals now. I think there's so much interest in herbal blends for health purposes, and so that category, like I mentioned, I was so into our traditional teas. We use consultants on how to blend. I went to Cornell Cooperative and studied medicinal herbs. And so really trying to up our game, and we really have creating herbal blends for all kinds of people as well.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Do you ever steep your own tea from herbs out of your garden?
I do.
My boys love doing that. Lemon balm. My boys love lemon balm, but they also really love catmint. So, and it kind of has that like kind of sweet minty flavor. And so they love actually coming up with their own blends. They'll do lavender, lemon balm, catmint, some of the other herbs that we have growing, and they'll just kind of like mix it all together and make whatever they think tastes good.
It's so great. A little tip when pouring tea, especially when you're pouring tea for multiple people, the top part of the tea will have the weakest concentration of tea. Okay. And the bottom has the strongest. So it's nice when you pour to go back
and forth. Oh.
So that one person's not getting a very weak cup.
Learning so much about etiquette.
Chin, 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 chin.
It's perfect.
Ooh, it is perfect.
So cozy. We did a really good job.
We did a great job.
Thank you, Hayley.
Thank you so much, Darien. This has been such a pleasure having you here.
It's all of it. Yeah. It's such a pleasure to have you in my life.
Hardest time getting this in the car.
So we are here in the Saratoga Tea and Honey shop in downtown Saratoga talking about the launch party for the Pantry Hill tea that we have coming up. This is obviously one of my favorite things to do is to plan a party. The color palette that I went with, because we're now in spring, was something that I felt could tie together both the Saratoga Tea and Honey logo, the Pantry Hill logo, and just be like reflective of what's happening outside our windows, right? So we're going with yellows and greens, and we're seeing the daffodils and the forsythia and all of that right now. We're gonna do a striped linen. These are from a company called Sweetgrass Home, and they're all hand-blocked, this is beautiful, hand-painted linens. They're really beautiful. I think this is gonna be on the main table, but this is kind of the direction we're going with that. Oh, I love it. I love the green and the yellow, and it's happy, and it says spring. I think we're good in here.
Oh man, that's really good. Well done, Darien.
The making of this tea is such a beautiful example of community coming together to create something unique.
I'm here to try out the Pantry Hill blend. We're super excited, much anticipated, and to support Darien and see all the ladies and have a beautiful Saturday.
Afternoon tea is just honoring those times together of slowing down as a family or with friends.
I think afternoon tea is a reminder to just kind of take a break from the day.
It's home. It's cozy, you know, it's conversation, it's spending time with your friends and loved ones and catching up on the day and taking some time away from everybody's busy life.
Oh, I'm just so excited for Darien. I'm so proud of her, and I'm just like happy to be here sipping on some tea. I'm sure my tea order is ready, and I totally forgot about it. So
it's just really sweet to see this come to fruition in Pantry Hill. You know, something that Darien and Eric have been working on and dreaming about for so many years. You know, to see everything come together like this it's so cool. And nobody deserves it more than Darien. She's worked really hard.
It's amazing. It's amazing what she's been able to put together and the community that she's been able to create, and have an excuse for us all to come together on a Saturday is really beautiful.
Bringing people together to share their passions and support one another is what it's all about. And a lot of times, sharing these passions happens naturally when you serve and celebrate the things you love. Ask yourself, what is it that I want my friends and family to take away from being in my home? It feels incredibly special that a ritual so close to my heart has been personalized. It's our home in a cup. And we look forward to the Pantry Hill blend continuing to bring people together.
All together now.
That's amazing. Are you crying? No, I'm not crying. I just cry at everything.
Thank you for joining us for afternoon tea. We hope you'll take some time to enjoy your home this week. If you'd like exclusive content from this episode, be sure to subscribe to my Substack.